Hello everybody, I'm back with another video for you today, and it's been a while. I've been taking a little bit of a break, and I probably will continue to do so for the remainder of this month potentially. Hopefully we get some new stuff for Gwent, because I'm a little bit burnt out personally, and could use a bit more, spice and new cards and whatnot. Hopefully we'll have an expansion reasonably soon, maybe next month or a little bit later, but either way, I do have a deck for you today, and this is actually one that I think I had in the meta snapshot video that I made a week or two ago. It is a Calvite deck. Nilfgaard is pretty okay at the moment, maybe one of the weaker factions though, but definitely been having fun with sort of these new leaders in a sense, the Calvite and the Emir, which are both actually quite good for Nilfgaard now in terms of compared to the other leaders, which is a bit of a unique thing because they haven't been very good for a long time, so I am enjoying that, and this is kind of just a value Calvite deck, nothing too special, nothing too innovative, I'm sorry to say, but I did want to bring you a little bit of gameplay and, just show you what I've been playing recently more than anything else, because I know there are those of you who do enjoy these videos, and I want to keep you, of course, up to date with content and whatnot. So, what is the deck? Well, pretty straightforward, as I said, it is just value based. You're running basically all of the good Nilfgaard golds, including the Witcher combination, Orc, Seret, Letho. You also do have the Lear, you have the Peter, you have them with Nilfgaardian Knights to maybe set them up if you need to. Slave Inventory Vreemd combination as well is very strong, and you have Cleaver, which is kind of an auto-include card in a lot of decks. Swears, of course, with his update is very, very powerful, especially against stuff like Henselt, the Arbalist, which can obviously come down with a shield due to Queen Adalia, can get countered pretty hard by Swears. You do need that in that matchup. Vivienne as well, pretty good card, and of course Bronze Core, nothing too special, just a bunch of good 4 provision bronzes and thinning with Imperial Brigades and whatnot, so very straightforward deck, nothing too special, but I've been winning a fair amount with it. I wouldn't say it's the best deck ever, it's okay, it gets the job done. You win maybe a little bit over half the games you play, maybe 50%-ish win rate. It's not great, but on Pro Ladder it's not terrible either. So let's jump into a game or two and see how this one plays. Okay, and we're going to be up against Ardal. I have been seeing quite a bit of Ardal as well. He also might be in contention for the best Nilfgaard leader along with Emir and Calvite. I know Calvite Shoop is kind of the most common or popular approach to Calvite at the moment, I think. I haven't seen too much of it, to be honest, but let's see what we're going to keep and get rid of here. We can probably remove maybe the Magni. I don't think that will find too much value, especially when we want to get Roach out and do all that stuff. We can get rid of one Nilf Knight as well, I think. Probably a Knight Errant. Nausicaa Sergeant's a bit risky to play because it plays heavily into Swears, so we might even not play that this round and just try to mulligan them away. We are on blue coins, so if we get Swears, we might be in trouble. Swears also will proc the ability of Nausicaa Sergeant if it gets stolen, so that's a bit worrying because you can't then Swears it back. Something to keep in mind, and that would definitely be painful if they have it, but we'll see what we can do. Gonna be a Phoenix actually, which is pretty interesting. I don't really have any counters to Phoenix in my deck in terms of I do not have, I believe locks do not work on Phoenix anymore, so you kind of have to banish it with a Cyprian Wily or a Regis, Bloodlust or whatever. Let's go with the Nausicaa Sergeant. They did do a pretty low tempo play, so we should be okay to do that, and we can also buff that Roderick up. So I'll be interested to see what this Phoenix is doing, whether it's playing a part of a greater plan here. Looks like it might be no unit focused actually. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and play a Nausicaa Sergeant again then. It probably will get removed, but in that case, getting rid of them is probably fine. Getting them out of the hand. And it does look like we're going to be against a no unit deck, so that's pretty interesting. I guess we should probably use some of our damage, like the Knight Errant here, just in case that'll be dead later on. Haven't seen this particular style of no unit. I've seen quite a lot of it though recently, and this one looks like it's going to be based on Phoenix being the one unit that I guess is not really very easily removable because it will come back in the next round or whatever. But let's play Cleaver. I think the Leo will find value later. If they're planning on using buffs and whatnot, then you might be able to get some value from it at some later point. Maybe even a lot if they're using swallow potions and whatnot. Maybe that's wrong, I don't know, but probably Cleaver won't do too much if they aren't playing many, guys on the board. Hard to say, but Alright, we could probably play Letho. We could also play Peter. I think Peter's harder to get value from in general, so we'll play that for a 6 right now. And that's going to guarantee us the round. So this is going to be a bit weird if we push round 2 because they're going to get a bit of carryover from the Phoenix. So it might just be better to go straight to round 3 and kind of hope we have the, you know, the hand that wins it, I suppose. And I think we're going to get rid of Infiltrators, you know, to aim to do that. Now what we could do is play here and try to steal the Phoenix from them with Swears. That is an option. It would have been good to have that last round, but we might need to use our leader to do that, I suppose. We'd have to try to find a bit of damage and then steal it. I'm not even sure if it's worth it. We don't really have much damage available. Alternatively, I guess we damage it down and then, you know, try to steal it after the fact. But I think probably passing here is the best we're going to get. We might get a little bit wrecked if they have like no units at all and they don't click the Phoenix for a while, but it looks like they do have, you know, at least some units around, although this is going to be another Phoenix coming down. Should be pretty wild. Yes, we'll see see if that power is going to be used early on or later. Probably will be later, I would imagine. And kind of a finisher, a quasi-finisher in that Phoenix, double Phoenix. Okay, let's get rid of Knight Errant, not too useful, and we could get rid of Leo if we think it would be dead. We do have Brigade to worry about that is in the deck, and maybe Knight can do some buffing for Leo. I'm a little bit worried about him being dead, so I'm going to take the mulligan there. It's a bit risky, but we did see Swallow Potions, so it might be the case that Leo would have found value, but you know, it is what it is. See what we can do here. We have quite a lot of removals, so if they aren't playing units, we might be lacking points a little bit. But then again, stuff like Vivienne, Slave Inventory and whatnot are not too shabby at all. It looks like there aren't going to be any units until the final play, so it's going to be a bit of a pain to deal with. We'll go with the Magni first. Get that one rolling if we can. I'm sure there'll be weather to answer him. Wouldn't be too surprised. We can then maybe go and play on this back row. We're not playing Nilfgaard Knight because they probably won't have a unit anyway, so don't need to worry about throwing that out first. But you know, now we can play the Nilf Knight, I think. And we'll see, they've got 8 points of carryover, which is definitely considerable, and the Ardal is stealing a 4-point unit, so that's, you know, a fair amount of stuff that they've got there. And we don't really have any plays to make here. I guess we can play Letho. He probably won't do too much, you know, anyway, so we'll throw him out. We want to save some of our damage or maybe our Swears or something for the, you know, one of the final plays so we can actually get points from them. Swears would definitely be hard to get value from. It would have been lovely to have him early on in the game and we could have maybe stolen the Phoenix and dealt with it that way. I guess they have Ardal to steal it back potentially. That might be why they're running that card. But I want to wait for the fog to clear so that we can, you know, not lose any value on the Imperial Brigade. We can play it now for that reason. Right now we're ahead, we're 1 point up, but the question is, will our cards get the value that they need to here? Particularly Swears is what we're worried about. That might end up being a very, very bad card. And I suppose we'll see. I think I also saw Serret doing a bug in terms of, I think he was able to damage a friendly unit before. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think I've seen that being a thing. So I think we can go for the Jan Calvit now. Maybe not the best target there, but we'll take a Slave Inventory, sure. And I guess we could play another one onto Letho and really set up the Vreemdi. Yeah, maybe we should do that. I was kind of looking for either a Shillard or a Sire would have been great, because then we'd get the easy Vivienne onto Roach and whatnot. As things stand, you know, the Vreemdi here is going to be very, very good, so that gives me some hope. We're 28 points up at the moment. Will they have an answer to, you know, this amount of points? Like a Scorch or something would be quite painful. But it does look like we're getting units on the board, which is certainly helpful. Although we can't actually damage him, which is not ideal, should we say. We can probably play Orcs. We can also probably play Swears. I think both of them will be dead, to be honest. Let's go with Swears. I don't think he'll be finding value. It's more likely that Serret or Orcs does probably find value. Because, I mean, are they really going to play a 3-point unit? Probably not here. In fact, it might have been better to mulligan Swears rather than, you know, Letho or whatever, but, you know, it is what it is. So, We could go the Vivienne now if we're worried about them destroying this, and I guess we are on some level. Orcs also kind of works. Maybe we should do that. I'm a little bit scared of, you know, something like a Leo would be pretty annoying, but I guess we get the value on it nonetheless, so it's probably worth taking. We're so far ahead right now, I don't know if this deck has the points to actually win it, even with the double Phoenix. And there's a target for our Serret, so we're going to get some nice value on that. Looks like Leo would have been quite good and better than Swears here, but whatever, that might have been an oversight. It's possible. Pretty wild deck from the opponent. I've never seen anything like this. Phoenix Nilfgaard. Well, whatever. Pretty straightforward win, I suppose, even though it looked a bit worrying playing against that. But let's jump into another one and see if we can replicate that. And we're going to be up against Svalbard. Definitely one of the best leaders, if not the best right now. I think it's generally considered to be very, very strong. So we're going to mulligan. Let's maybe get rid of one Knight Errant. Maybe one Knight as well. And then an Infiltrator, I guess. Oh. Bless me. Anyway, we can probably roll with Magni Division on back row because we want to, of course, you know, do stuff. I'm actually going to boost it here, which might be a bit risky, but I'm a bit scared of Marauder if I don't. Yeah, or other damage in general is maybe a bit more likely than getting hit by a Geralt here, so we'll go ahead and boost it. And if we can get that engine rolling and ticking this round, that'll definitely give us some presence here. Although it does mean our Nilf Knight is a bit weak, weakened for sure. Let's actually play it here, because that will kind of deny this totem. We can then Cleaver for the value, I guess, on that. Technically, not the best play ever, but is what it is. That's a card we want to get rid of this round if we can. Pretty okay hand. Leo's definitely one of the win conditions for later on in the game. They're actually going to go for clicking that, so it's pretty interesting. Does mean we can just kill the Svalbard Priest with Cleaver. Let's go ahead and do that. Roach might pop out and block the Magni. Doesn't. That's a feels good man moment. So now we definitely can push a bit harder this round. Get some more stuff done, which will be very nice.
The courage to fight
the Butcher coming down, and that's going to be on to Cleaver, which means we can play Slave Inventory for a ton of value. I think we'll do that now, actually. There's no real reason to wait. And that's just going to make this so much easier to win. You know, we're not winning on even, but it's still a win in round one, which is pretty important against something like Svalbard, which really needs last say to deny the Leo, the Peter, potentially onto, you know, whatever card that you're aiming for. That is a Protector. I think we can go with Infiltrator. We're far enough ahead that we're not too worried about falling behind her, I don't think. And Swears, you know, is an option. We're not going to take that option here, but it could have been a play there, and, you know, maybe even as a play now on Shield Maiden. I think I want to play the Knight Errant first, just getting rid of bad cards. We'll hit the Protector and set up a steal on it now with Swears. We maybe lose a bit of value, but it's possible he'll pass here if he doesn't think he can, you know, he doesn't want to commit good cards and whatnot to get ahead. Or we'll just, yeah, maybe take the round with the Swears or something. And that is a big play, so I think we do need to push a little bit more here. And yeah, probably taking Protector's worth it. I think we should have done that earlier, but then we're not offloading our bad bronzes, so it would feel kind of awkward to do that. Swears, pretty good card, but whatever. It's quite important for us to win this round. It looks like we're not actually going to be able to, which is a bit awkward. Let's just take the pass and see what happens. We might be okay in round 3 in terms of Leo can probably hit stuff like Olaf as well as the Vildkarl, right? So it's maybe not the end of the world. And, you know, we got some good resources here from them. Ulfadin, Jenge, Hjalmar. Not the greatest totem as well, but we didn't really commit too much, so not the worst result ever. And we can keep Infiltrator for the pass as well, which is pretty neat. Nausicaa we don't really want, but we can definitely play Infiltrator when they take a pass, and of course brick them a little bit more. They already have one Infiltrator in the deck, so not super great for them. Now hopefully they do play a Priest for the Leo, otherwise he might be hard to get value from, or Olaf. both of those will give us Leo value. There is the potential for renew, so that's a bit worrying, but hopefully we get an Orcs and that will really help us out. There he is, perfect. So keeping the Brigade along with Roondy is not too bad. I mean, we're at least going to get guaranteed value there to some extent. There are maybe better cards like Slave Infantry, but I think we're going to keep this just to be safe and not kind of brick on a bronze or whatever. Let's start with the Shillad, I think. We can, of course, still pull something nice with Calvite, maybe Vivienne or something if we're lucky. Let's open with the Shillad and maybe hit Olaf. That'd be really good because we can then kind of nuke him with a Lethe or whatever. And Longship we could just lock. It's not going to do too much without, of course, the sort of backup protector or whatever. So I think we'll let that one live and try to lock the other engines or kill Olaf or whatever. Harald is one of the cards we probably do need to deal with, otherwise it'll get a bit too much value. So let's play the Lethe now. We might lose out on Vroomdy value a little bit here if they kill this. But, you know, is what it is. We can maybe find a Slave Infantry if we're lucky. Get the value on Vroomdy that way. And we probably should actually play the Calvite now just to, you know, have a look. See if we can grab the Slave Infantry. If we can, we get a nice amount of value here on the Imperial Brigade. So let's go for it. Unfortunately not grabbing that one. Nilfgaard Knight's bad, Knight Errant's bad. They're all kind of bad. I guess an Order Sergeant's the best because it's a 4. And it will, you know, be an engine that sticks around after we get to boosting. So it's not too bad. Not the best leader ever, but, you know, I've seen better from Calvite, definitely. But it's not necessarily that bad. We'll see if we have, you know, what it takes here to actually win. Unfortunately, you know, our Leo might be dead, which is really, really not what you want. And that's the main issue with not winning round 1, not getting last say against these foul blood boys. Maybe a light longship actually coming down and gonna shoot with the foul blood. Very interesting. Okay, we could probably just play the Serret now on the longship. I don't think it really matters, you know, playing an Orcs at this stage. So they probably have Vildkarl, maybe Olaf. You know, we're still waiting on their damage unit from Shillad, so I don't know, we have a chance here. You know, 1 point Olaf, a Canute is not particularly good. I think if we have a dead Leo, then we're in trouble here, but looks like they're going to go for the Vildkarl. Perfect for us. That means we will get Leo value or Orcs value onto it even. So presumably they have Olaf at a 1 strength, and they want to try to save him as late as possible. They maybe have Renew as well, but let's go with the Leo here. This is a very powerful play. And will be putting us far ahead of even a Renew Olaf kind of couple of last cards. So I think we're probably in a good spot to win now. Yeah, gonna be a victory. Bit of a scary one, honestly. If we hadn't got Leo value there, we might have been losing the game. It's really important to try get last say. It was a bit awkward that round 1 for us, but do, you know, remember to push Svalbard and get that Leo online every time. It will definitely increase your win rate against Svalbard. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Not the best deck ever, but a pretty interesting one that I've been playing around with. I do like Nilfgaard, of course, and they're not too bad, I don't think, but let me know how this deck does for you if you choose to play it. If not, then just subscribe for more Gwent videos, of course, and I'll see you guys next time.